Today, we'll talk about the health issues that the Millennials and Gen Z face. The distinction between Millennials, born between 1981 and 1996, and Generation Z, born between 1997 and 2012, is like day and night. From how they dress to their career choices to their social activities, the different lifestyles experienced by these two generations make them face different health, financial, physical, and emotional problems. Some may argue that millennials have more problems than Gen Z, while others maintain the opposite is true. But it is difficult to quantify who faces more issues, and it is only right to look at their problems separately. Welcome to our channel, where we talk about issues relating to mental health, self-improvement, general medical problems, and the journey to overall wellness. We put out weekly videos on these topics, and our content is based on scientific research and our experience as physicians practicing both Western and Eastern medicine. If this is something that appeals to you, be sure to like this video and stick till the very end to see if you want to subscribe. Without further ado, let's head straight into the main topic of today's video: differences in main health problems between the Millennials and Gen Z. Here are the main millennial health problems. Hypertension. Increased blood pressure is frequent among millennials. Many health professionals have found it surprising, as millennials are not even 45 years old at the time of this video. Hypertension among the older population is brought on by such factors as age. With time, our blood vessels become less flexible, and we accumulate more plaque, which makes controlling our blood pressure difficult. But for millennials, it is not brought by age, but by their lifestyle. Most millennials tend to have white-collar jobs and spend most of their time seated. Their bodies become accustomed to a lack of strenuous activities. Another major cause of this generation's increased blood pressure is high levels of indulgence in junk food. Instead of eating healthy, balanced meals, they go for snacks to avoid getting tired from the meal-making process. The result: increased levels of hypertension. Joint issues. Serious joint problems can affect people of all ages, and millennials are not spared their share of orthopedic issues. However, what is common among people belonging to this age group is delaying seeking care. While older people go to see their doctor if their knee acts up a little too much, millennials will tend to Google their problems and postpone doctor visits until the condition becomes advanced. Type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, commonly known as diabetes mellitus, is a disease where the body cannot control the amount of sugar circulating in the bloodstream. This disease leads to symptoms such as excessive thirst, frequent urination, and increased hunger. Just to mention a few. Research shows that age, for anyone 45 years and above, and genetics play a very strong role in developing diabetes. This is another disease millennials are experiencing earlier than other age groups before them. Most get it from their lifestyle choices, such as physical inactivity and poor diet, mainly related to heavy consumption of processed foods. Inflammatory bowel disease. Crohn's disease is a serious inflammatory bowel disease, commonly known as regional enteritis or ileitis. Parts of the digestive system, which includes the ileum and colon, become inflamed and irritated due to the illness. The disease is characterized by chronic diarrhea, perennial fissures and fistulas, and rectal bleeding. Ulcerative colitis typically affects colon and rectum and results in significant inflammation. Both conditions can lead to development of colon cancer. These are autoimmune conditions, and their exact causes are still being researched, but poor diets and smoking have been shown to contribute. Millennials are known to register the highest number of smokers when compared to other age groups, and as we discussed before, their diet choices are generally suboptimal. Strokes. With the poor lifestyle of the millennials, type 2 diabetes and hypertension are on the rise, causing the risk of getting strokes to skyrocket for them. It seems people under the age of 40 shouldn't be getting strokes, but research has shown that this life-threatening condition is on the rise among the millennials. So, if the millennials are like that, how are the Gen Z? Are they correcting the millennial situation, or is it going downhill? Well, let's take a look at the Gen Z health problems. Major depression. According to research, 7 out of 10 Gen Zers have depression. They are said to be the loneliest generation. Parents and teachers are worried about these rising numbers. Where does this come from? Why is it so prevalent amongst the Gen Z? Since the divorce rates have been on the rise, their depression starts at their homes, when their parents get divorced. Children are affected by such events to a higher degree than what was known previously, and Gen Z happens to be the victims of this rising issue. Coping with the separation leads to psychological issues, and children who do not talk about it end up bitter, sad, and depressed. Another root of their depression is their romantic relationships. Being born with access to cell phones, internet, and technology, this generation has gotten the most influence from social media. They develop romantic relationships at a very young age, without knowing what is expected in relationships, and without any counsel from their parents. After getting heartbroken, and without anyone to tell, they go into depression. Other issues, like rising gun violence, have contributed to depression in this generation as well. Obesity. Obesity is a problem that extends beyond appearance. It is a health problem that increases the risk of various cancers, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses. Obesity often arises from a confluence of genetic, physiological, environmental, and behavioral variables, such as decisions in diet, exercise, and physical activity. Gen Z, who have a very sedentary lifestyle, fall culprit to this condition more often than the generations before them. Sexually transmitted infections. Sexually transmitted infections are on the rise, particularly in the Gen Z age range. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, among the many reasons, one is thought to be an overall reduction in STI education programs due to budget cuts. Another contributing cause might be an over-reliance on the HPV vaccine, which shields against cancer-causing HPV strains, but not other STIs. Research has shown that young people feel they are protected from common STI, which is HPV, so they tend to use protection less frequently. Additionally, since the AIDS crisis has passed, today's young adults are more likely to view HIV as a treatable illness. This is also felt to contribute to sexually active adolescents, who are less likely to use protection. Malaria, dengue fever, and even COVID-19 are all diseases that one can acquire from traveling. Before traveling to new areas, Gen Z tend to not make it a priority to see a doctor and get immunized against known pathogens. This has caused many Gen Zs to get infected with these travel-related diseases at a higher rate than other generations. We have looked at millennials and Gen Z's health problems. It is important to note that those are not the only health problems they face. These problems can overlap and may be found in all generations. So, what did you think of today's video topic? Sound off in the comments and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. If you found this information helpful, we're sure you'll enjoy this other video from our channel too. Until next time, we wish you a happy and healthy day.